Okay, today we will be simulating a retrospective using a tool. Now, retrospective can happen in so many ways. And of course, there's so many tools out there for you to facilitate that meeting because you want to get the most out of it. But one reason why we leverage tools like Parable or Miro or Jamboard is because we want to create that anonymity among the participant. Like usually, if you're running the meeting like usual, let's say you do a typical Zoom meetings, you would notice that some of the people in the room will talk more, right? You are going to have few peoples in your team that would be more vocal than the rest of the team. And so when you use tools like Parable, it allows you to record the contribution of everybody that is present. It kind of allows everybody to put in an opinion because they are doing that in an anonymous way. You can't see who wrote what. That's the reason why we use this tool. So all right. So when you are using Parable, and I will be sharing a link with you guys real quick so that you can like have a real life experience on how that goes. I'll be using Parable and Jamboard. These are like two tools that are often used, but Miss Georgette, sometimes she uses Miro, but I'm just using the tools that I'm frequent that I use often. So when you want to start a meeting, it's up to you. You have a variety of template that you can choose from. You can choose from your team's template that you already created or from what is already available in the public. So for some reason, I don't know why they have only a very few templates here. Normally they have like so many different templates that you can use, but of course you can also make your own template. To be honest, yeah, spring poker. I see why. It should be a retrospective template, not a spring poker template. Okay, give me 1 second. I think I picked the wrong tool. All right. So you simply arrive there by Googling Parable for retrospective. And you should have access. It's a free tool. All right, let's see. All right, we are going to get started. We can sign in. Let's see. Okay, so I'm just going to create I don't know, a different team, maybe a different team. Right now, it won't allow me, but I'm going to just create a team call, okay, training. Right here, it's really up to you. Free tool. So I'm going to create a new team. And now that I created my team, I should be able to add a meeting. Hopefully this time around it should work because these are retrospective. Like I said, awesome. So the first template that I picked was for planning poker, and that's why you didn't have a lot of choices. But now when you create your team, so I hope I'm making sense. So I created a team. Within the team, I said I click on create a meeting. Now, the name of my team here is training class. You can name your team whatever you want. So you go here, you want to create a template. You can create a variety of template depending on what you want, right? Coffee lean, energy level. For example, it gives you a glimpse of what your template will look like. So here you have fully charged, low battery, sprint energy. I have never used this personally because you need to use what resonates with you as a Scrum Master, and mostly important, what you can get the most out of. So I would use sometimes the typical what went well, what didn't go well, or I use the starfish model and just remove some of the category because I think this model is a little redundant in his categories, or I just create one from scratch. So again, glad, sad, mad. That is one thing. What are you happy about in terms of what are they happy about that from the last spring? What can we improve? And what are you guys angry or disappointed about? So I'm going to be using this template, for example. And again, I want to let you know that you can edit a current template. So you see, I clicked here, you can edit this category and even edit the types of questions. So when it says glad, you can say, what were you happy about? You can edit this last sprint, right? You simply customize this based on the need, based on what you want to get out of your team. Okay, now sad, what could we improve? You can like edit. Again, you double click, you should be able to edit. What can we improve as a team? So you should be able to customize this based on your need. You can add emojis just to represent the current state. For example, sad, you double click, you can add an emoji that represent a sad face. So let me do that real quick. I'm going to do an emoji that represent maybe a face that you're happy. So let's pick one. For some reason, I don't see my emojis. Oh, so mad. So I think this was glad. So let's double click. I don't know why my emojis can't appear for some reason. All right. Yeah, I don't know why I can't see the emojis. Usually it works on my work computer, but I'm sure you should be able to do this. You should be able to add the emojis to represent the different state that your team can see, and then you click on use the template. And again, you can include an icebreaker. The icebreaker will be a simple question that, you can ask at the beginning of your meeting just to make the atmosphere a lot happier and make people feel a little more comfortable. I don't particularly use the icebreaker because I send the link ahead of time to my meeting invite. And given that during your retro, you only want a subset of people, you only want the team to be present during your meeting. So I simply put this as a link. So I will go ahead and say start the meeting without the icebreaker. And the reason I don't do with the icebreaker, like I said, is because I will send this ahead of time. If I include the icebreaker, then it won't allow them to answer any of these. So I send them, I copy the link and I add to the meeting invite. They should be able to access this and fill out all these columns without me knowing. So I'm just going to try to send this link to our chat. And pretty much you should be able to come in and just write anything. You would see that when you write, is going to come up as somebody is typing, but we can't see who is typing what. So that is the level where this tool is important, because it removes that aspect of knowing who is saying what, and therefore people are more free to share their opinion and their thoughts that way. So let me see if I can add this to our chat. Let me find the chat in the first place. Okay, so I want to send to everybody. Hopefully you should have access to it. So click on the link, and let me see if you can access it. Usually it's better when you invite people to the meeting, but I don't have people's email. So right now, I don't know. So I think you guys should be able to access the link via the chat. If you don't, it doesn't matter, but you should be able to access something. So my reflection, I would say, for example, good team corporation, or good team, corporation or collaboration. And if I'm supposed to write my own thoughts, I don't share my screen usually in front of my team, because I don't want them to see exactly what I'm writing. Now, if I don't have anything in particular to share, then I would let them type. When they type, I will see somebody typing. Now, can you guys have access to the let me see. I don't know why. Usually it makes me, so I'm going to invite, for example, Miss Georgette on it. She should be able to access it and type. I just need one person to type so that you guys can have a sense. Okay, she should have access to it. Miss Georgette, let me know in the chat if you can. Now you see she joined. So you can see your participant, you will see the first letter of their name. And when they type, they're typing in all three categories you will see. And that's what I wanted. You see right here, she's typing. You guys can see that?
Yes.
Awesome. I don't know. Oh, people are requesting to join. Accept. Okay. A second person has just joined. She should be able to type as well. So again, this space is different. Sometimes I send this link ahead of time, but during the meeting, I do give them the opportunity to finish. I can put like 5 minutes, so here's the timer. You can put the amount of time that you think they may need to share their thoughts. So here I'm going to give ourselves a minute and then start the timer. And then you let them share their thoughts. Usually when I'm doing this, I have music behind and stuff. So it really depends on kind of my mood for the day. I change kind of the template and how I want the retrospective to go based on what I think is necessary. So you would see here that we have one member reflection on the glad phase. If somebody else is typing, you should see a bunch of people typing at the same time if people are actually joined in this thing. So after the timer runs out, I would typically ask them if they still want to share their thoughts. If they think they may still need to type something, then of course you let them do so. But you don't you don't want them to feel rushed. So you give them about 9 minutes. They should be able to complete their thoughts. Okay, so let's see our timer. I see somebody's typing in the math phase. You guys see, you see one member typing, but you can't see exactly who. So that is why this tool is important, because people are likely to share their thought when they can't see. Now, time is up. I would typically ask if we can move forward to the next phase, and they would say, yeah. So we would move to the next phase. Now, in the next phase, we can group different items. So if you want to group different items, you can group like this. The team, everybody should have access to this. They should be able to group depending. They can move one thing to the next. They can move different category. They will group together. So typically, that's how the grouping goes. And when we finish the grouping phase, we can move on to the next phase. When we think all the categories are well set, we move on to the next phase where the team can vote. Now, the vote also is anonymous. So each team member will have 5 votes. So here we are 3 of us. Because we each have 5 votes, it gives you 15 as the team's vote, right? At the end, you'll expect the team vote to be 0, meaning that everybody voted. Now, how do I know if some people don't vote because the team vote won't be 0? So typically at the end, I would say, well, let's vote. And I would unshare my screen to vote. That way they don't see that I'm biased or that I like one category. And typically, because we have 5 votes, you can vote the same item multiple times. Now, yes, you can vote multiple items multiple times. I usually encourage my team to use 3 of their votes of this on the same item if they think it's really something they want us to talk about, because the item that get the most votes is what we are going to discuss first. So the votes, these allow us to rank our different topic. What are the most important topic that we want to discuss based on the votes that we have? So I see another person trying to join. So based on the number of votes, they just vote. So you guys go ahead and vote. Ms. Georgette and the other person who joined, I think her name is, I can't see. Yeah, so go ahead and just vote any of these categories and then we can move on to discuss. Okay, and as you see, when people are voting, this, I don't know why this search thing appears on my screen. Yeah, when people are voting, you would see the voting count is going to go down. So right now we have 6 more votes. I need you guys to vote quickly, please. And sometimes you can also put a little bit of timer just to let them know. Okay, so just vote multiple things at the same time, Miss Georgette and the person who joined. That way we can proceed to the next phase.
Can't even do nothing. It's not allowing me. Oh, Lord.
Are you guys okay? Maybe I need to use my vote. All right. Well, the team vote is still 5 for some reason. I don't know why, but usually the team vote will be 0. And then we go to the next phase. Now, the next phase is the discussion phase. You would see here that it automatically ranks the item, the topic that gets the most vote as the first topic to discuss. So very, very good tool. So technically with my team, we are going to have like 13 different topics, or, you know, with tons of votes depending on each topic. The very first topic, they're telling you, okay, this is important, I want to talk about. Now, the first topics are not usually something negative. It can be something positive that they want to share about. It can be something good. So again, you will go in rank and discuss each page. They can add their comment here, and you will give the opportunity for people to discuss. Now, typically in your team, like I said, you're going to have a few people that are vocal. So in this phase, you want to pinpoint those people. You want to let those people that don't talk much, you want them to give their opinion. You want to ask them, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Before letting the people that are more vocal to share their opinion. And like I said, you can design your template depending on your need. Usually the third column on my template is going to be a kudos column where I'm giving the chance for my team to appreciate one another. And you would see people would be like, yeah, I appreciate this person. She helped me with this. I appreciate that person. She helped me with that. So you have this sense of harmony in your team, and you would see that they work together well. And this person would be like, yeah, I want to appreciate this person because she did that. And yeah, when we are done with the meeting, you simply end the meeting. It should send a summary. It should send a summary of the retro to people. It will tell you the reflection, the topic, the participant, and of course, it will give you the different items that we discuss. Do we have any questions? That's what I use. This is one of my favorite tools because it makes retrospective a lot easier. Questions for me? Comment? Concerns? All right. Now there's an, okay. I don't know what questions to ask you guys. Now, what do you guys think? What are other tools that you have learned about that are effective to run retrospective?
I have a question.
Sure.
I came a little bit late. I logged in a little bit late. I was like, what's the name of this tool we are using right now?
Parable. You can see it here, right? And I even send a link to the chart. So it's going to be Parable. If you want to run retrospective, you will typically Google Parable for retrospective. It's a great tool for retrospective because it's free. Now, Miro is another good tool that allows you to run for different purposes. Now, Miro, companies usually pay for that. So it's not, if your company is not paying for that, it's going to be difficult for you to use it for your team. But Miro is a very effective tool as well. So.
And my next question is, what is the objective? In fact, what is the purpose?
The purpose of using this tool?
Yes.
Yeah, so I guess you joined a little bit late. I can understand. Yeah, so Parable is it's a tool that allows you to facilitate the retrospective. So there are multiple tools, many tools out there that you can use for retrospective. You can do a variety of things, honestly, for retrospective. You can even send survey out to your team ahead of time, right? So you can use too many tools, but this is just one of the many tools out there that allows you to run that meeting effectively. And I don't know if you were here when I said this. I said the reason why I picked this tool is because when you usually have meetings, you're going to have 2 or 3 people that talk more. So in order to remove that aspect of having a group think, you want to use a tool that allows all the people to share their thoughts. Now, this tool will allow you to do that anonymously. So if we go back to the board, I don't know when you join us, but we go back to meetings. I don't know why that I can't see. Okay, for the training. I can share these because these are kind of personal for my organization. But like I said, you can design this board based on your need. You design the board, they will have different template. You design this board and everybody should have access to it. Now, when people have access to it, they have the ability to type their comment in all 3 categories, depending on your board, answer your question without your team member or your tech lead knowing what they're necessarily saying. And after that, you will have so many different topics coming out, the team will vote. Everybody will have 5 votes. The team will vote on the topic that they would like us to discuss first. So the topic that has the highest vote will be the topic that we start discussing. And then when we discuss up to the last topic, and yeah, that's why we use this. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Any other questions? There's another tool that I wanted you guys to kind of get a sense. This is a Jamboard. And again, it can serve the same purpose technically. So this time around, I'm going to let you guys participate. So they say I can't vote. Oh, I couldn't see the chat. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, maybe you can't vote because you joined late. See, I don't know why you couldn't vote. You should. Oh, maybe it didn't let you in. That's why you couldn't vote. Or were you able to get in, Jermaine? Can you hear me? I don't know if she can, but normally when you're in, it should let you go. Now click on the link to the Jamboard. You should be able to access this one without any problem. I'm going to edit the permission so you guys can join and have the ability to edit. Let's see. Let's see. Copy the link. Anyone has the editing permission. So you guys, when you join, you can have editing permission to do this. Okay, I see one person has joined.
It's not letting me.
It's not letting you join it either. That's the permission is updated. Now you should be able to join this time around. So let me know if you still have issues and I can, or you can share your email and I can add you manually. Okay. Can everybody join? You see, somebody can even move the chat already. Good. So the thing, so you can move things depending on what you want exactly. So you can design this template. Typically, I would design it the way I want with different emojis to tell them the categories and all that. So you can design this the way you want, but that's not the purpose. I don't want you guys to move things on the board necessarily. I want you guys to fill in the board with your thoughts. So in order to do so, you on the side here, you should be able to pick an item, a sticky note, right? And type in whatever, what went well, right? So, okay, what went well? You can see, I don't know, we had enough time to test just a category. You can pick a color that you want. As you can see here, you know, I can pick my colors. I can change depending on what I want, the color that I want, and save it. Now, sometimes I just group the colors based on categories. So what is green? I know that, okay, that is typically something that is well, and then you can pick something that is yellow, something that is, you can change your color depending on what you say. So I want you guys to fill out this real quick with whatever thing you wanna fill it out. Just get some practice. So go ahead and do that.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Oh, finally. Thank you. Because I was trying to see what's going on. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry you couldn't vote earlier, but you should unless something happens. So here somebody said great training, right? So that's you can add the different categories the way you want. The only problem with this is that it doesn't give you that option to, hey, you know, vote and stuff like that. But we still have some level of anonymity. You can see we can see only the logos of the different. You see, some people are dragons, some people are, you know, hyena and stuff like that. So still, we have anonymous people. When you're typing, we can't see who you are unless if you're using your organization's meeting. But when you're typing, I can't see. I'm not sure I can do it. No, you can, trust me. Trust me, it doesn't just come like that. You will adapt. Okay, so yeah, just fill out a category, and this one you just talk through one of the main things. I would typically, when I have this, I'm just gonna go one category to the next to run the meeting, because it just doesn't give me that. And of course, you can title the board, hey, training retrospective. All right, and then you can put the date. If I can type retrospective, and then you can type in the date. That way it lets you know, hey, this was exactly today. And if you have multiple Jamboard, you will go in your company and you will see a Jamboard for a particular team, for multiple teams at the same time. But yeah, this is just one of the tools that you can use. You can use a bunch of things, circles, you can add images and a variety of things depending on your need. Very easy to use tool. I can tell you that for a fact. All right, do we have any questions for me?
I have a question. So what is really Jamboard? What is it used for? Is still for retrospective? Is that a different
You can
tool?
use this. You can use this for so many tools. Like in my company, we use this Jamboard to create our. Yes, can you hear me?
It's breaking up. It's breaking up.
Oh, it's breaking up. I don't. Okay. I'm just gonna stop sharing I'm going to stop sharing. Okay. Can you hear me better now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So for example, in my current organization, we use this Jamboard during the PI planning. One of the tools that we use most during the PI planning. We use this to create a program board, for example, where you have multiple teams within the train and you can create dots in between, like the program board, the program board. I don't know if you know the program board, but in Scale Agile, we have a train that have multiple team. Now, we use that tool to create a connection, track dependencies among teams. So you would see a large program board with different teams, with different features, and you see the different connection between the teams. So this tool can be used for different purposes, not necessarily just for retrospective. I just use this because it's one of the things that I use for retrospective sometimes. You can use so many things for retro. Like I said, this is just to give you an idea. You can use Google Forms. You can use surveys. You can use so many tools. Again, it's up to you on how you want to run this thing, the retrospective for your team. How do you get the most out of that meeting, depending on your team?
Does all member of your team must be like has account with Jamboard or whatever you choose to be using?
Well, like I said, depending on your company, you may have some restrictions, right? But you would have some company approved tool. The company will let you know, okay, they're approved to use this. For example, in the financial industry, in my company right now, we cannot use tools like Miro, or at least Miro is safe enough, but they don't let us use it. They let us use Jamboard. They have some company approved tools. Most company will have Miro or Parable or some sort of tool that they want you to use. Now, Google Jamboard is an approved tool from Google. Google is in the workspace of Google, very safe. As long as you have your company's email, you should be able to access that. So depending on your company, it may be different, but if you are using a Google Workspace, then you should have access to Google Forms and any different types of things that you need. Does that answer your question, Rosaline?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Miss Georgette, do we have any question, last minute question before Miss Georgette chime in? Okay, well, thank you for your time.